upgrade section, which lists the identity upgrade schedule for each of the environment, and then the status of the identity upgrade, whether it's being succeeded or has been scheduled. And then you can also see the start time for each of the environment. If you have single sign-on environment, there are pre-upgrade actions, and the status will be showing whether it's pending or completed. As an administrator, you need to complete the required action. To do so, select the environment, click on the upgrade action button, which will bring up the steps. There are a total of 4 steps to be completed. First step is download the SSO document. When you download, make sure you label it so that it doesn't mix up with the different environments, because each environment has its own SSO document. Save it. The next step is to take this SSO document and go to the corporate identity system and create service provider. I'm going to use the Microsoft Entra as an example. To complete the upgrade actions, select the new application, and then create your own application here. Don't use the protocol icon from this panel, because this is going to create the service single sign-on configuration for the current identity system, which is not the one we want. Give it a name that specifically identify the service provider. Then follow the steps to complete the setup. First, assign users. Adding a few of my colleagues so they can use single sign-on to log into the environment. Assign. Once they are added, go back to overview and follow step 2. In step 2, we're going to import the SSO that we just downloaded on the console. Select upload metadata, and then select the SSO document we downloaded from the console. Add, making sure every data field is entered correctly. If you have IDP initiated flow, make sure that you enter the Fusion application signing URL for this particular environment, so that you can create a panel like for your user to log in, such as like my application, where user can click one of them to log into Fusion application environment. Save. The second thing you want to check is the attribute and claims. Click the edit, go to claim names. This is where the mapping of data is specified. Making sure changing the email address to unspecified. Save it. This will complete the service provider setup. To prepare for step 3, we want to download the federated metadata from Microsoft Entra and bring it back to the console. Let's go back to the console and then complete step 3. So step 3 is that taking the SSO metadata from Microsoft Entra and update it. Select the identity provider, click update, and then select the one downloaded from Microsoft Entra. Click import and make sure the import is successful. To test the new identity provider, I'm going to start with a fresh new browser session. So let me close the window and then start with new incognito windows. Walk back into console. Going back to environment family. Drill down to maintenance tab. And then select the production environment and click pre-upgrade action to complete steps 3. Select the identity provider, click test. You will get a sign-on screen asking me as an administrator to log into the identity domain for this particular environment, production environment. So entering the credential, admin credential for the identity domain, click sign in. Don't use the button below because that's not the one that we are testing. From here, OCIIM will make a call to Microsoft Entra with the service provider we just created. And I will use a different account to log in, the admin account, entering password and entering 73 in my Microsoft Authenticator application in my iPhone. Once it's entered, it will authenticate me as administrator to log into the Microsoft Entra with a service provider. You will get your connection is successful. This means that the OCI communication to Microsoft Entra and come back and authenticated me as a legitimate user to log into the future application environment. Once complete, go back to the console and then complete step 4, which is confirming everything is successful. Once I confirm and going back to the console, you can see that the production environment, the pre-upgrade status, the pre-upgrade action is marked as completed. That means that this environment is ready to be received identity upgrade. Notice that there's also a test environment. For example, if the test environment is scheduled for March 14th, which is 2 weeks prior to the production environment, then you must make sure you complete all the pre-upgrade actions for both environments 3 days before March 14th, which is March 11th. As a final note, the pre-upgrade actions that I just showed does not affect your current SSO configuration. They are for testing and validation only in order to prepare for the identity upgrade. To show this, let's look into the identity provider. Scroll to the identity provider section. Select identity provider to open a new browser window. We are now in the OCI IAM screen showing the identity provider. Let's go back up to the identity domain. We are now under the Federation tab. In the table, you can see the identity domain that we just tested is in deactivated status. This proves that it does not affect your current SSO. This concludes the demo. Thank you for watching.